This is a video tutorial to show you how to connect your domain name to your website. Step 1 will be to go to GoDaddy and log into your account, go to your domain, and then manage the domain name servers. We're going to change those so it will point to the account that we have at our web host. The second step will be to go to the lcjcamp.us cPanel and go to Addon Domains and add your domain to the account. And then number 3, I'm going to show you how to connect with FTP to upload your web pages to your website. Let's begin by going to GoDaddy. I'm going to type in the domain name here. And on GoDaddy's site, at the upper left-hand corner, you'll see that it gives you a place to log into your account. If you click that, it'll ask you to put in your username or your customer number and your password. Then you can log in, and as you can see, it says My Account and it says Hello. Now we're going to go to where it says All Products, and we're going to click on Domains, and then here we're going to go to, excuse me, I lost it, we're going to go to Domain Management right here. Domain Management will give you a list of all your domain names. I've got several, as you can see. I'm going to go to one called expat.org because that's going to be my example domain. And here is all the information on the domain. Now, the information that we're going to be working with today is the name servers. Now, mine is already set correctly, but yours will be set to the default name servers that GoDaddy uses. So you're going to need to change these. The way to change them is to go over here and click on Set Name Servers. When you click on that, a little dialog box or small window comes up in the middle of the screen. Now, you'll want to make sure that you have clicked on I have specific name servers for my domains. Then, inside the first two spaces for name server 1 and name server 2, you want to write these name server addresses. These have been printed on the website that I started this video with. You can copy and paste them from there. Basically, it's ns and ns2.nocdirect.com. Once you've typed these in, you're going to want to click on OK. I'm going to click Cancel here because I've actually done this before, but it's going to give you a message that says that it successfully reset the name servers and that it'll take anywhere from 2 to 48 hours for those changes to take effect. Now, in reality, it takes usually about just an hour or so for the changes to take effect, and once that happens, when you type in your domain name, it should redirect to your website. But right now, all that we've done is we've reset the name servers. We have not actually created a place where those name servers can point to. So we're going to go to lcjcamp.us and we're going to go to the cPanel. So the way to do that is to type in lcjcamp.us/cPanel, or the cPanel for lcjcamp.us. You can also get there by going to lcjcamp.us:2082, but we're going to use this method right now. And we get the cPanel login page. The login for the cPanel is something that I've told you in the class. I'm not going to repeat it right now because, well, this is YouTube and we don't want everybody to know what it is. But as you can see, the username is Lakeland and the password is something that we've discussed in class. So hopefully you should have the password. If you don't have the password, then just send me an email and I'll send that to you. Now, when we log in, we're going to see the cPanel main page. Here we go. And there's quite a lot of things here. But the first place that we want to go to is the Addon Domain. Now, as you can see, there's a lot of stuff. I can actually see where it is and I can point it out. But if you have trouble finding anything, the easy way to find it is to start typing it in this find bar. It has a live search, so if you start typing ADDON, there it is right at the top, Addon Domains. So you want to click where it says Addon Domains, and this is where we do our work. Now, here's where you type in your domain name. Now, mine is going to be expat.org, so you're going to type it here, no www, just the domain name with the TLD, and there we have it. Now, once you click out of this, then you'll see that it automatically gives you your subdomain or FTP username, and it gives you what's called the document root. The FTP username means that this is part, at least, of the username that you use to log in to your FTP account. And the document root means this is the name of the folder where your web pages will be kept. You'll notice that it begins with public HTML. That is the main folder for any web account. This is the one that's actually used for LCJ Campus or lcjcamp.us. So yours is going to be a folder inside of that folder. Now notice that it included the top level domain. You can keep it that way if you want, or you can just erase that and keep just the domain name that you've chosen. You're going to have to give it a password, so I'm going to type something in here. It should be relatively strong. That means that it should have letters and numbers, maybe even a symbol or two. And then you have to retype it. And if it matches, then all the check marks should be green, and you can click Add Domain. So you click Add Domain. It will take a few seconds for it to generate all of the permissions and the passwords and the folders, but after a few seconds it'll come back and it'll tell you that your domain was successfully added. Alright, so there we go. And if you get any error messages here, don't worry about it. I'm getting this error message because I had this domain on previously and I didn't get rid of the FTP account. But in any case, you should have a success message, at least that your Addon Domain has been created. That's the important one right there. Alright, once you've got that, we can go back to the home. Now you've actually added your domain. Now one way to check it, of course, would be to go back to Addon Domains. By the way, it's located down here where we have domains. And if you check that, you should notice that we've been added to the list. These are the ones that have been added as of the time that I'm making this video. But here you can see, here's one that I just added right now, expat.org. And so that will tell you that you were successful in adding your domain. So now your domain has been added. So we've just completed step number 2. So actually, just right now as it is, your website has now been established. Your domain name points to this web host, and this web host now has your domain added to it. So within an hour or two, you should be able to see your domain name pop up. But it's not going to do very much until you actually put web pages onto it. So how do you do that? How can you put your web pages up onto the domain? Well, you have to go back to the main page. Again, you can go back to the main cPanel page by clicking on this little home button right up here. And then you're going to want to check out your FTP account. Now the FTP accounts are right over here where it says FTP accounts. Or, of course, again, you can go over here and type in FTP accounts. And when you start typing in a certain amount, you'll see the button appear right at the top. So click on that. And you'll notice that FTP accounts have automatically been generated for you. So here's mine, right down here, expat@lcjcamp.us. And you'll notice there's a lot of information here, but you don't have to do anything except click on this link over on the right, where it says Configure FTP Client. So I'm going to click there. And now I get a little subscreen that shows me the manual settings for my FTP. Now, you don't have to write these things down because there's an automatic way that this is handled. That's right below. You see right here where it says FileZilla, and it gives you a couple links for the FTP configuration file and the instructions. Now, it says here that FileZilla is for Windows, but actually there's also a Macintosh version, so it doesn't matter if you're using Mac or Windows, you can use FileZilla. All you have to do is go to Google and search for FileZilla. You'll be able to find their website. You can download and install their software. Now, here you want to just click on the FTP configuration file. So click on that and you'll see that a download begins. If I go to my downloads folder, I can see that I just got a file that's called FTP my domain at lcjcamp.us.xml. This is an XML file that has all the information you need for logging into your account. So now you're finished, at least for the moment, with this web page. So I'm going to log out, and I'm also going to log out of my GoDaddy page if you haven't done that already. And now I'm ready to use my FTP program. Now I've loaded FileZilla onto here already. Like I said, if you want to get FileZilla on your computer, you can just do a search for FileZilla on Google. You can find the FileZilla homepage. It's on SourceForge. You can download and install the software on your computer. After that, you just open it up like I'm opening it up right here. Okay, now, how do you open your account using this program? Well, because we downloaded that configuration file that you can see back here, it's actually fairly easy. In FileZilla, you want to go to the File menu, and you want to go to Import. Now I'm using Macintosh, but it's pretty much exactly the same thing using Windows. Go to the File menu and click on Import, and you'll get a dialog box. That's a navigation dialog box, and it'll ask you to find your file. So just go to the folder where you downloaded that file, select the XML file that I pointed out before, and click Open. It'll come up with a dialog box which tells you that it's going to be imported into the Site Manager category. That's exactly what you want. So just click OK. Then you'll get a success message. And here we go. Import successful. The selected categories have been imported. So click OK. And now all you have to do is click on this button up here. This is called the Site Manager. Should be the first button on the toolbar on the left. So you click on it and you get a window up here that has your sites. Notice that when I click on this one right here, that my username, expat@lcjcamp.us, is already here. So all I have to do is click Connect. There is a window here for password, but it's not editable at this point. Just click Connect, and you'll get a dialog box asking you for the password. So I'm going to type in my password. This is the same password that you typed in when you added your domain to the cPanel. It's not the password that you gave to GoDaddy, although you could use the same password for both. This is the password that you typed in on cPanel. So I'm going to click OK, and then I'm going to get a lot of text coming up right here telling me that very quickly what's going on, but the last message should be directory listing successful. If you get this, that means that you were successful in logging on, and that means that you can now upload things to your website. So let's take a look at the main window of FileZilla. Up at the top, you've got the status area. This tells you what's happening, and you can mostly ignore this. It's a lot of technical stuff, but it will tell you sometimes if you've been successful at doing something. In the main part of the window, we've got on the left the files and folders on your computer, and on the right, the files and folders on your website. This main area right here, that's your website. So if you want to transfer files, one way to do it is using these windows to just drag and drop files from your computer onto your website. Now, this is my Macintosh. Your computer might have a slightly different directory, but if you can find your user account, go into the folder where you have kept your work, then you should be able to find the files that you need. So I'm going to put my form onto my website. This is the same thing that you should be doing. And here it is. Here's my form. Now, this, of course, should be called index.html in order for it to work. You can change the name directly in FileZilla here. So I'm going to call mine index. And now it's called index. I can then drag and drop it over here. And after a little bit of churning up here in the status area, you can see that the index file has been successfully added to my website. Now I happen to have an image here, so I'm going to just drag and drop in there as well. Now if you want, you can click on more than one. You can select more than one file. You can do that with the with the keyboard or with your mouse, and then you can drag more than one file over to your website if you want to. Now another way to do this would be just to simply find some files on your desktop. This might be easier actually. So if you open up a window and you find something that you want to put in, for example, I've got here the projects 2 and 4 web page right here. So you don't have to actually take it in file by file. You can just drop the whole folder in there if you like, if it's a folder that you want to make. Notice that when I drag and drop this in here, it's not gonna put the files from the folder into the site. It's gonna put the whole folder into my site. So you've got to make sure that the folder is named correctly as well. So it's taking a while because there's quite a few files in there. Looks like it was successful in getting my files up there. And now it's listed the directory, and now we're finished. So you can just drag and drop and put your files in there. So after you wait a couple of hours for your name server connection to do its thing, you should be able to go to your browser, type in your domain name, mine is expat.org, and you should be able to see the files that you put up. I just put my form up there, and there it is. And here you can see there's my domain name. It's working perfectly. Now you remember that I put up a folder there called P24. So if I type that in, P24/ to indicate a folder, that should open up that folder's contents as well. And here we go. This is what I just uploaded by dragging that folder P24 onto FileZilla. So that's how you upload web pages to your website. Now, just in case you might have trouble understanding this, let me do this one more time. First of all, I'm going to go on to into FileZilla, and I'm going to right-click, and I'm going to delete the files that I just put in. It's going to ask, are you sure you want to do that? I'm going to say yes. It's going to take a while to get that out. And there we go. Okay. So now I'm going to quit FileZilla. I'm going to close my windows. And let's start one more time. All right, so let's say that I have finished my form. This is the homework you have over the weekend. I've got the folder right here. And this is the file that I want to put up on my website. I have a picture button too. You don't have to do the picture button, but I've got that in my folder here. And you want to put this up on your website. So you open up FileZilla. Now this is after you've imported your information. So you just click on the Site Manager button right up here. Make sure that you've selected the right one. It should have your domain name right in here. Click Connect. You get the dialog box, which asks you for your password. Type in your password. Click OK, and now it should connect to your website. There you go. So once you see that it says Directory Listing Successful, then you know that you're there. On the right-hand side, it shows your website right here. Now, this is a link actually to the next highest folder. You don't want to go there. This is a necessary folder. It's, as I said in class, it's kind of otaku stuff. So just leave it alone. And instead, just load your index file into your website by dragging and dropping the file right there into the right side window. You should see that it ends with a directory listing successful. And over on the right, you should see your index file now listed in your website. That's it. That's all you have to do. Once you're finished, just quit FileZilla, and you're done. Remember to take a look on our website, lcjcamp.us, where I'll have a page set up that describes the homework for the weekend. It's due on Monday by 8 p.m. And basically it is to create a new form that you're going to then upload to your website. If you have any difficulties, just give me an email message and tell me exactly what your problem is, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can.